Alright, let me do my intro.
Okay.
Alright. Hello and welcome to my second channel, Rubber Dose.
I'll get that spooky ghost boy.
How's it going, everyone? Ghost here, back with another game guide. This guide is about GEKKO, the newest Valorant agent, which is an initiator. So, to start off, GEKKO's first ability is called Mosh Pit, and it costs 250 credits. So basically, his Mosh Pit is like a grenade, or like a molly slash grenade. So you throw it down on the ground, it creates this area, it doesn't do damage while you stand in it, but once it explodes like that, it does damage. So I have a test dummy here with me now, so I'm going to throw my Mosh Pit and they're going to die in the molly.
Blow him up, Mosh.
So, Mosh Pit down, doesn't do damage, but once it explodes, it kills them. So I'll show you that with myself in it as well. It gives you a warning sign that it's going to do damage. Gives you a warning sign that it's going to do damage. Doesn't do damage over time, so it's not like a Brimstone Molly or a Viper Molly or general kind of Molly. It's, you can stand in it and run out of it, but if you're caught in it when it explodes, you pretty much die instantly. But if you're standing in the dark green area, like the outer line of it, it only does like 74-ish damage. So this green area there, that won't insta-kill you. Alright, so I'm going to throw my ability down again, and they're going to stand in dark green. You can hear the sound of the hits, but they haven't died, because it doesn't insta-kill you if you stand in the dark green. Alright, so GEKKO's second ability is called Wingman, so it costs 300 credits, and it's basically kind of like a raised boombot, so you just equip it and throw it down. It will bounce off walls until it finds a target and then concuss the target, so throw it down, it sees the enemy and concusses them. And with GEKKO's Wingman, signature, and ult, you can pick them all back up. So you can pick them up. I'll just turn off infinite abilities. So, throw it, bounce off walls, see someone, concusses. I can pick it back up, and there's a 10-second cooldown. So you can see that down the bottom there. 10 seconds until I can reuse it again. Same with his flash. So his flash is just a generic flash. You get it for free at the start of each round. You can bounce it off the ground or off walls, or you can just throw it in the air and it explodes. I have to reclaim that because I turned different abilities off, but reclaim it just like your ult orb, 10-second cooldown, and also with my Wingman I can reuse him again. And I can keep doing that as much as I want throughout the round, so I can keep reclaiming, keep using, keep reclaiming, keep using. So with the flash I can just throw it up into the sky, and it shoots like goo at the enemies and it blinds them, so it's not a like bright flash like your usual flashes. It's just a blocking vision kind of goo. Like, it doesn't blind you, so people with epilepsy, you're good. Another thing with GEKKO's Wingman is that he can also plant and defuse the spike. So if you have the spike on you at the start of the round, if you're attacking, you can pull out GEKKO and place the spike wherever you want on the map. So anywhere I want. If I want to do it back, I just place my crosshair all the way back. If I want to do it closer, I just bring my crosshair closer. And then I right click to deploy GEKKO with the spike. If I press left click, then he just normally runs until he finds an enemy and concusses them. But if I right click, he runs with the spike. So I'll right click.
Wingman's planting.
He has the spike. Planting with the spike, and then I can reclaim him as well once he does that, and then he's good to use in another 10 seconds. Alright, so you can also dodge the flash, so if you run away from the goo that the thing shoots at you, you won't be blinded at all.
Somebody's there.
See? So you can dodge it.
Somebody's there.
So if you run away from the goo stuff, you can avoid it.
Dizzy has targets.
Also, if you're close to an enemy and you throw your blind,
Someone's there.
it does like splash damage, so it'll target the enemy, but the splash damage will also blind you. So
Dizzy's up top.
there's no
Dizzy has
instance
target.
where you'd be this close to an enemy and not kill them, hopefully. But yeah, just keep that in mind that it does do a splash damage, so if an ally or yourself is close to an enemy for some reason, whatever that may be, you have the potential of being blinded. Same with Wingman. If you're in Wingman's area, you also get concussed. Alright, so now let's talk about GEKKO's ultimate ability, Thrash. So this ult costs 7 ult points, and it's basically a Skydog mixed with a Killjoy ult. So when I activate it, I take the form of this little blobby fish here. I can move around like Sky's dog, kind of nearsighted, moving fast, long timer. And then when I find an enemy and I leap onto them, they become detained, like a Killjoy ult. So they can't move, well they can move, but just slowly. They can't use their gun, they can't shoot, they can't defuse, they're basically helpless. It'll also tell you if you detain someone, so I can use my ult, and it will tell you Thrash hit him. That means you detain someone. You can also reclaim Flash only once throughout the round, so you can potentially use his ult twice in one round. And he also has a 10-second cooldown on his ult. So basically all his abilities that you can reclaim have a 10-second cooldown. But Thrash you can only use twice per round if you pick it back up. If you don't pick up the ability orb within the countdown time, then you just lose that ability for the round. So I'll turn off my infinite abilities, use my Flash, use my Wingman, and I'll use my Thrash. Since I've already used my Thrash before, it won't let me pick it back up, because technically it's the second time, but you get the idea. If I don't pick it back up within this specified time, you can also see it down there above my abilities. I won't be able to use it again throughout the round. So you can see it goes away, and that goes away. And now,
I'm out.
I can't use any of my abilities.
I'm out.
And the explosion one, Mosh Pit only is a single use, because it's basically a suicide bomber. Alright, now the spike has been planted, and I'll use my Wingman to defuse the bomb. So all I have to do is just aim my Wingman at the spike. It won't register if it's too far away. If it's in the general direction-ish, then it'll register. And then I just right click to deploy as well. If I do left click, it won't deploy. You can see Wingman's defusing the spike.
Que padre! My little guy did it!
And then Wingman defused the spike. You can destroy Wingman, you can also destroy his Flash, called Dizzy for some reason, and his Thrasher. His Wingman and his Blind don't have that much health, so they take 3 shots to destroy, but his Thrasher has a lot of health. It'll take 2 operator shots to destroy it. So I'll show you that now. Alright, so first I'm going to throw down my Wingman.
Get him, Wingman! The Wingman's down.
So down in a few shots. So now they're going to destroy the Flash. Flash destroyed, and the the ult. Obviously, the ult takes a lot more damage than the other 2 abilities, so it'll take a while to destroy it. But the range of the ult is also very large, so you have a big jump.
Thrash is going again. Thrash got him.
So basically, when they start shooting at you and you think you're in range, you can jump at them and concuss them basically before your Thrasher gets destroyed. And same thing with the ult.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to... Sorry, did I talk in your thing?
So the thing with Thrasher's ult is when you are searching for enemies, you can also detain yourself and allies. I I missed completely. Let me try that again.
Going to little homie. Crash is ready.
So I'm detained right now, so I can detain myself and allies if I don't hit enemies. So if there's enemies close to an ally and they're in a gunfight, you can either detain the enemies and the allies. Allies might be a bit annoyed, but you can still detain them, maybe save them, but that will put them in danger if people aren't detained. The enemies aren't detained. You know what I mean. Alright, now I'm just going to give a general review of GEKKO, because by this point there's a lot of agents in Valorant now, especially, well, not especially, but like including initiators. So GEKKO will be the 6th initiator, I'm pretty sure, in Valorant now. I like how they changed it up so it's not a blinding flash, like it's more of a block your vision flash. Well, it's not a flash anymore, it's just it's a blind. So it's not a flash, it's a blind, it just blocks your vision. And they're doing that because they want to reduce like people being flashed, because it's an issue apparently. I don't agree with it, I don't disagree with it, it's just the thing that's there and I'm just accepting it. But they could just do near sights, like Fade and Reyna have near sights, Omen has near sights. That's a good way of blocking vision. If you want to do a complete blind, you could just have a dark like flash. It doesn't have to be a bright flash. You're in a fantasy land, you can do a dark flash. It doesn't have to be a blinding light or a bright goo that blocks your screen. It can be a near sight that fully blocks your vision. So like it looks like a near sight, but it's just a complete blind. You know what I mean. His wingman's pretty cool. I like the idea that you can get someone else to plant and defuse the spike instead of doing it yourself. It opens up new possibilities to like psych out enemies and be safe as well, but it also adds a bit more risk because if the wingman gets destroyed, then the spike's left on site with no one to get it. So you're basically stranded if you have a good defense and can't push onto site. Well, if the enemy has a good defense and you can't push onto site, you know what I mean. It's late, you know what I mean. His ult's also pretty good. I like the idea that you can detain someone. It's a bit overpowered that you can pick it up again in the same round, and it only costs 7 ult points. That might be changed later to be 8 ult points. It looks like Valorant's changing every agent's ult to be 8 ult points by now. But yeah, that's like the small thing about his ult. Other than that, I kind of like it. Maybe mine's the fact that it has so much health. Like it should be less. Or buff other agents' ults, like Sky's Seekers. Their health could be buffed a bit if Thrasher's this strong. Especially that you can also detain someone so they don't have a chance to fight back. With Sky's Seekers, at least, they're just nearsighted, like, you can fight back still. I think there should also be a cooldown on his signature ability, so when you throw your blind and don't pick it back up, that's your blind gone for the rest of the round. So if you're not able to pick it up, like if I'm pushing onto site and I throw my blind, like even just around the corner, if I get 2 people and there's another person on site, they could just hold my blind until it expires, and then I don't have a blind for the rest of the round, which is kind of dumb considering most of the other initiators have 2 flashes / blinds. Like Fade has her, pretty sure she has 2 Seekers. Yeah, she has 2 Seekers. Breach has 2 flashes, Sky has 2 flashes, Sova has his L drone and his recon dart that has a cooldown, so you can use the recon dart like twice, 3 times in a round. Am I missing this initiator? I don't think I am. But yeah, you get the idea. I feel like if you don't pick up his blind, there should be like a 30-second, 40-second cooldown to use it again. That way he's just not completely useless if his like abilities get stranded like on site. Wingman, you can just leave it as is. You can throw your ability, and then if you can't pick it back up, you can't pick it back up. You obviously buy it, so that's the whole point of it. But as a signature ability, I feel like it should have a cooldown if you're not able to retrieve it. The mosh pit not being able to be picked up, yeah, that's completely understandable. It's fine. I don't feel like it's too overpowered to be able to pick up a damage ability, like a damage-based ability. Unless GEKKO was a duelist, then it would make sense, because damage-based ability. Like Raze has has the potential to have 2-3 nades per round, depending on her kills. Yeah, I feel like GEKKO is going to be changed a bit throughout the updates for Valorant, but overall he's an okay agent. Another thing that I've had an issue with GEKKO playing him is if he throws his blind like up and it just lands on a like unfortunate spot like this, or if it even lands up here or something, I have no way of getting to it. Like, I can't get up there to retrieve it. I don't have a satchel pack, I can't sage wall up there, I can't omen teleport up there. If it lands on an unfortunate spot, that's gone. I don't have another one. So that's why I think you should also be able to have a cooldown on your blind, like a 30-second cooldown if you don't pick it up. Because he is an initiator. If he doesn't have the potential to have a second blind, then there's not that much point. And plus, you can also dodge it, but then again, you can't turn away from it. So, like, positives and negatives, but I feel like the negatives outweigh the positives. But, yeah, I feel like I just need to give a review on GEKKO, because GEKKO's probably the first agent that, actually, maybe second agent. First agent on initial release that I'm not too keen on, just because how his abilities are laid out at the moment. If they change it to what I said it would be, like a cooldown on the blind if he doesn't pick it back up, and like maybe a nerf on his ult, but that's not really that big of a deal, then yeah, maybe I'd play him a bit. But yeah, on initial release, I'm not too keen on GEKKO. I feel like they've underdone him compared to other agents where they've overdone him in quotations, because like Chamber, I feel like he was fine. His 2 anchors were good. They didn't need to change it to 1 anchor. 2 trademarks was okay, but 1 trademark works fine as well, I guess. And then, what was the other one? Astra, she was good on initial release, but they nerfed her to have, like, I think it was 5 stars now. So, yeah. Alright, so that concludes the GEKKO guide. I hope you found this useful. If you did, you know, give it a like, subscribe, why not? I also make other content besides guides, so check those out. And, yeah, I'll keep you updated on more stuff that I put out. But in the meantime, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.